This video covers using OffShoreNavigationVBA to perform a linear regression analysis on a series of sun sites. The linear regression analysis is activated from the Celestial page, clicking the linear regression button on the sun site subpage. This brings up the LRA form. During the mid-morning and mid-afternoons, the sun travels across the sky in almost a straight line. Therefore, a series of closely spaced sites of the sun during the morning or afternoon, when plotted against time, should produce a straight line. If any of the sites were not taken accurately, then it's not going to produce a straight line. So the purpose of a linear regression analysis is to identify whether or not the series of sites is on a straight line and identify the sites that are outliers that could be possibly eliminated to produce a line that's a close fit to a straight one. Then, using this straight line that's been produced, a computed site for any given time during that period of the original sites can be computed, and this may be more accurate than any one of the sites that were taken that morning. So, to perform the linear regression analysis, I first have to enter a series of sites into the LRA form. I've taken a series of 5 sites this morning, and now I need to enter them. Down below, the date has been entered, but I can use the up and down buttons to change that date as necessary. So that date's fine, so let's start by entering the time of the first site. The first site was taken at 0909 and 55 minutes in the morning. Sorry, 55 seconds. And the altitude was 42 degrees, 51.6 minutes. When I click the Add Site button, now this site is up in the Site Candidates list. Now let's enter the second one at 0910 and 50 seconds with an altitude of 42 degrees, 58.1 minutes, and now I've added that to the list. Now I've added the 3 additional sites, and I have my 5 sun site candidates listed. Now I want to perform the linear regression analysis on these 5 sites by clicking on the Save LRA button. That produces this graph that's shown on the right side of the form. The blue line connects each one of the actual sites taken. The magenta line is a best fit straight line that correlates to those sites. Over here on the form, the best fit factor for these sites is 0.786. A factor of 1.0 would be a straight line. So we're not very close to a straight line by the factor, and we can see that it's not close to a straight line by looking at the graph. But what the graph also shows very clearly is our third site here is well off the magenta lines, where the other 4 sites seem to line up very well with it. So now I'll go over here on the Site Candidates, click on that third site, then click the right arrow to move that site into the Sun Sites Removed list. Now I click the Save LRA data again, and we can see by the graph we're very close to a straight line. And our best fit factor is now 0.997. So this looks pretty good. The removal of that third site seems to have given us very close to a straight line. Now down in the computed site section, the program has calculated a new sextant altitude for the time of the first site. I can change this time to anything in that period, but that's pretty good, just using that initial time and this recalculated sextant altitude. So if I want to use that for a sun site reduction, all I have to do is click on the Reduce button. We're back into the SunSite page and the celestial page, and if you look over here in the site data, the date and time of that site has been entered, and this recomputed sextant altitude has been entered. The only thing that remains to be entered is the sextant index error and the height of I to produce a sun site. That's a quick overview of using linear regression analysis in the Offshore Navigation VBA program.